All right, let's all get back on the Foundation hype train. Woo woo! Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watcher Pass, and it's Friday, which means it's Foundation Day. And I'm very happy about this episode because I really enjoyed this one. I know it's been a little bit sour on Foundation recently, but this one seemed to get it back on track. It wasn't perfect, but there was a lot to like about this episode. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the episode and then go into things I liked and things I didn't like. So as you can imagine, there will be spoilers in this episode. There will definitely be spoilers in some of the things I didn't like. So if you haven't seen the episode yet, go check it out now. It's on Apple TV Plus, available today. It's episode 9 called The First Crisis, and it's 57 minutes long. You can check it out pretty quickly and then come back and watch this video review and see if you agree with me. You probably have seen things that I missed, so I'd love to hear about that. Or if there were points that I brought up that you didn't think were right, I'd love to talk about those as well. And let's get going. So in this episode, you have two main plot threads. You have Brother Dusk and Brother Dawn over in Trantor, and then you also have Salvor over in Terminus trying to figure out what's going on her home planet. And those are the two main storylines, and in those there's a lot going on. So things I liked about this episode, the first is the Brother Dusk storyline. I think so Brother Dusk hasn't really been highlighted much, but I thought he did a really great job in this and really kind of let himself come to the forefront. I liked how the actor was able to really kind of emphasize Brother Dusk's kind of command of everything going on. I also liked how when he was talking with Brother Dawn and trying to kind of test him, there was a lot of sinister overtones in the things he was saying, which and then they were fairly subtle. So I liked that. I mean, it was pretty obvious what was happening, but I liked that he was able to do it in a way that wasn't overtly threatening and kind of showcased how this game is played for Empire. And then later, when he had to be ruthless because of the kidnappers who kidnapped Brother Dawn, I liked that as well. He really kind of showed how different he is from Brother Dawn and how ruthless you have to be to kind of be the Cleon, to rule this empire and to stay in power. Like, I really liked the contrast between the two. And I really liked the contrast between the two. And that just kind of highlighted how different the main Cleon line is with the altered kind of Brother Dawn character. The second thing I liked is the Brother Dawn plot line. I thought that was an interesting new avenue. I liked this kind of rebel group and their overall plot and how elaborate it was and how they kind of lured Brother Dawn out into Trantor. I like how they lured Brother Dawn out into Trantor and kind of then betrayed him. I thought that whole sequence was a very well done one. It kind of threw you for a loop, especially when the actual betrayal happens. And overall, I thought it was a good sequence of events, and that leads right into the third thing I liked, which I really loved seeing Trantor. Brother Dawn gets to kind of experience the city not as a clean. He gets to experience kind of what you would think would be the seedy underbelly, but it really felt vibrant and alive. It was a very different type of environment than we'd seen before, because usually in Empire, or usually in Trantor, you've got the kind of the lush, pristine gardens and palaces that Empire lives in, and then you have a little bit less populated areas for where the Salvor storyline, and Gale is just off in a spaceship somewhere, so she really doesn't see anyone. This Trantor's arc really felt like you were going into a living city. It felt a little bit more alive and modern. It kind of had like a Blade Runner-esque kind of feel to it, and I thought that was all just really well done. I really like seeing this new part of the series, especially this late in the game. It's nice to kind of have some new environments to explore this late in the season. So things I didn't like. I did like the overall Brother Dawn plot, but the whole Rebel plot line just felt a little bit too unbelievable, and maybe there's explanations for this, but to get to their plot, they had to have access to the Cleon DNA, like the Cleon clones, or at least a piece of DNA. Then they had to be able to replicate that DNA into a new Cleon, like a new character that they raised. And on top of that, they had to have access to, like, I guess, Cleon embryos, or the new Cleons, to be able to alter the DNA without anyone noticing. That just seems like a very, very elaborate plot. Like, I liked the idea behind it, and I thought it was an interesting thing, but the more I thought about it, it's like, the more I thought about it, it seems very difficult to actually pull off, unless, and I imagine we might find this out in the next episode, unless they had some sort of additional help, some sort of inside person that helped them to establish, that helped them to switch the DNA, get another embryo, that kind of stuff. That would have been, unless they had someone on the inside who was helping them along the way. And they didn't mention that, but who knows, maybe they were trying to keep that secure or whatnot. But it just seems like without any sort of inside help, that seems like an impossible task, especially given what we find out at the end, where Empire is able to, essentially track them down and take them out fairly easily. I can't imagine they would have let it get to this point if they actually knew. And in order to do this all secretly, it seems like a very elaborate operation. The second thing I didn't love is, I guess, the Terminus arc. I love Salvor. I think her character is great, and I really like, her overall story arc. But the Terminus arc in this episode just felt, I don't know, a little too convenient. They were able to jump the ship to Terminus, even though I don't think any of them had any sort of jump capabilities. So rather than going to Trantor, where they thought it was originally going, they diverted it to Terminus, which again seems like a very difficult jump. And then everyone on Terminus is asleep because the null field is getting bigger. And then Salvor is able to, I guess, access her past memories or her connection with, I guess, both Gale and Harry to open the cube that she happens to find. And then that then opens the, I forget what they call the Sentinel, and transforms that. It all just felt a little bit too convenient. I guess Salvor does have that capability of just, I guess, intuition, the same thing that Gale has. And I imagine that at some point we're going to find out that they have some sort of connection or relation because they both seem to have similar abilities. But so I don't know, the whole sequence is kind of didn't feel earned, I guess would be the way I would go with it. It just felt like everything fell into place for Salvor. Or maybe that's just how it is with her intuition abilities. And the last thing I didn't love is, I guess, the culmination of that whole arc is Harry Seldon is back. Again, we'll probably get explanation in the next episode because this was right at the very end. It was in the finale. But how is Harry Seldon back? The projection that Gale is talking to, I understand that he put his consciousness into some sort of device or downloaded his brain and it's evolving. It's an AI, whatever it is. That makes sense, but this was not some sort of AI, unless it was a very elaborate holographic projection. It seemed like this was actually Harry Seldon, flesh and blood. I'm sure we'll find out more, but again, it was a weird way to end it, and I guess we'll just find out more. But I didn't love the idea that now Harry Seldon is back. I don't know, the fact that Harry Seldon is now back, I don't know, it felt maybe a little bit too Hollywood, a little bit too like, aha, big revelation moments. I liked Harry as kind of this projected memory that was still testing people. If he's fully back and I guess, I don't know, resurrected, then that just, again, this seems a little bit too Hollywood for me. But in any event, I liked this episode. I thought it was interesting. I liked the new places we saw. I liked seeing Brother Dusk come into his own, and then I liked the whole Brother Dawn plotline. So again, I'm excited for the last episode, which I haven't actually been in a bit. So all in all, this is a good episode, despite some of the little minor things, and I can't wait to see where this goes. The next episode is season 1, episode 10. That's the finale. We'll find out if this leaves us with more questions or actually answers something, and I guess we'll all find out next week together. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot, make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.